only on WINNMedia 98.9.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and
Good
welcome to another
morning.
episode of Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade.
Hello, people. We are back, and it is Wednesday finally.
Yeah, it's finally Hump Day Wednesday. It is March 31st, the last day of
Or
March.
it is the last of March. Wow.
The time is 8:07 a.m. So, what? Just a few more hours until we jump into April.
Yay. I'm sorry.
Yay.
I'm not as enthused as I feel like I should be because the months are changing. Because we are still in a what? Pandemic.
A panorama.
Uh,
We in a pan elaborate, we in a pop tart, we in all kinds of things that start with a P.
yes. Still, like I cannot even understand why we're still here. I would not have thought like another April would have been here and we would have been still in a pan. Whatever one of those P words you want to use. I'm annoyed. But look on the bright side. We have life.
Oh boy.
No, we really do have life because we made it through another match. Even though, we're still not under the best circumstances. But Kevon, what was your like favorite thing from match?
This is a trick question
No.
because there's no answer.
I would never trick you on the radio. I want to, so nothing at all good happen in match for you. Nothing.
No.
Wow. Well, I hope this month is better because that is really, yeah, that is really sad.
Let's say one good thing is that then again I can't even say that because they're
Hold
gonna lead
on.
on to a different topic.
Hold on. Not say it.
I was gonna say the street lights at the top of 4th Street get fixed, but
Oh yeah, you should.
yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. See where I was going with this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to start on a lighter note. Yesterday, I came in here and cursed out the people standing in the middle of the sidewalks who still are doing it. But, I digress. But yeah.
One day.
One day. But yesterday, yeah, you said the traffic lights and it instantly threw me back. When are we going to stop recording people's not best moments? When are we going to stop pushing
Then
phones out
stop
of
recording
windows?
tragic moments. I'm all for recording it for proof's sake,
But
but
Lord have trigger warning,
like
man. Come
for
on.
entertainment purposes, like because I feel like
And I don't
okay,
even know if
if
it's
something
entertainment.
happens, I mean, like if something happens between, an altercation happens, you can send it to the victim and say, I have this recording, I could send it to you if you need to have it for like, court to press charges or whatever.
Evidence.
But then to just sit down and record this thing and then just, jump
Oh
on
my
WhatsApp and
gosh.
forward it to everybody,
Let me tell you
like,
something. some of the worst things I've watched in my life have been videos forwarded via WhatsApp without any context before you watch the video, and you open the video and it's just
Fine.
chaos. Like, trick, please at least tell people before you open this video there may be some things in here that you probably don't want to your spirit. So before you watch. No, we just get videos and then we open it and it's
I live across the street or somebody, having, it's just like,
somebody getting shot. Like, come on, people. I know y'all like
more
doing
for
these things
awareness,
because y'all
but
want to be the first.
there's other ways to do it.
Y'all want to be the first to share or forward information, and I shouldn't be cussing people like this because it helps in the news. However, y'all traumatizing me too much.
Yeah, there's ways to go about it. So stressing me out.
Anywho,
Stressing me out. So that's one good thing that happened for March. The street lights get fixed.
that's what we was talking about. Yes. Like I completely forgot. One good thing that happened in March.
Hmm. You're stuck on that one, right? Okay. And then you want to
Yeah,
ask
because
me not one good thing? Okay.
no, I think I had some really fun moments in March. I can't say that all were bad. Sometimes I kind of forget that we're dealing with a pandemic, but then, you know, other times I'm forced to remember. But I guess, oh, I know, two things. Well, one thing, but it happened twice. Being recognized for this show. Because, yeah.
Okay. All right. So we have to let so I'm put you on blast now.
Oh, Lord.
Hold on, let me pull up the link because I have it saved. So their timescaribbeanonline.com, they posted their list of 20 young female movers and shakers of St Kitts and Nevis. Guess who's on the list? Jade Gwyneth Johnson.
Please don't make people call me Gwyneth outside.
Jade Gwyneth Johnson, and I'm going to read it. I'm going to read what they said about you.
Wait, before
So
you
Jade,
read it, before you read it, wait, before you read it, I have to shout out the other 19 women.
We're gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna list them. We're gonna read Gwyneth's one first. So Jade G. Johnson, being resilient and innovative in a growing market is key for survival. Jade is described as an entrepreneur, social media specialist, promoter, event planner, and community activist. She has been involved in planning major events in the Federation, including Cooler Fete, Blue Wave, St. Kitts Music Festival, Solid Mass Camp, Guest List, and her very own event, Slippery. When the COVID-19 pandemic occurred, many were immediately left without a job, including Jade. In the wink of an eye, when we got whim of a new morning talk show on WINN FM with a fresh young crew, juicy topics, and Jade as the producer of the show. Island Tea on WINN FM discusses news with a twist and has guests ranging from Nevis Premier to young upcoming artists. Congratulations, Gwyneth.
Woohoo.
Congratulations.
You know what was funny? That right up, because how would I know all of that? Like, who
let me see who else is on the list.
Sorry?
I'm gonna go through the list to shout out the other 19
please, because they deserve
women on the list. So we have Leslie Nisbet of El Couture. Leslie Nisbet is known as, the go-to for all things fashion in St.
Boy,
Kitts,
she is,
with,
boy.
Excellent, what do we call it? Needlework.
Yes, needlework.
Her designs and creations are just amazing. People just say like your clothes look like they make. It's the opposite with Leslie. Like they don't. Like Leslie don't look like
I
they
love
just
this.
come
I
off
love
a-
this
a hanger
super
in
plug
the
you're
store.
giving to Leslie. I hope she's listening. If she's not, I'm going to cut it
Because
out
Leslie
and
know
send
I
it to
like
her.
her stuff.
Yeah.
We also have the Benjamin sisters. We have the Benjamin sisters,
They also, well,
Chadine
they're like,
Connor and Narissa Watley.
yeah, they're like, when it comes to fashion, like I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if you've seen some of
Then
the
the
things that
fashion
they,
bunch.
yeah, St Kitts has some talent.
Um, some talent, right? Then we have Kinesia Jack, who's known for her makeup. Um,
Again,
she
talent,
runs a studio named Muslim MUA. So, you know, I'm sure
talent.
everybody's familiar with her work.
Yeah,
It's great work. We have Chevany Liebert, who is also known for hairstyles and fashion, like other fashion
yes,
stuff.
the girls.
Um, we have Shania O'Loughlin, and she's basically, the decor and decorating
Look,
queen. She's
they
the
are. Have you ever
business.
seen it? Have you ever
She's the
seen?
brain behind Oomph events. Yes, many
Bruh,
times, and they're just very, it's always just like,
you are it.
it's Oomph did it, but then it just look different every single time.
Yeah, I love them.
We also have Here by Queen Clady. I hope I said that right.
Yes. Well, I think so.
Um,
But she's also talented with it. You see, women are so
yes, here's
versatile, right? That she's talented with her hands. Well, most of the people on this list
yes, very.
talented with their hands, but in so many different ways. I love it.
She does it all, braids, extensions, weave and wig installation, everything here. We also have Sasha the artist, who everybody knows as, the
Too
queen of
easy.
paint and sip,
Too easy.
um,
Again,
which is
talented with her hands.
and outside of her paint and sip stuff, she does fantastic art. She's an
Yeah.
artist outside of her,
Y'all probably have seen
um,
her art and
her.
fell in love with it. The most notorious one for me was the banana
Mhm. It's a lady. No, the most notorious one for me is the lady with
with
the
the
St.
VAP.
Kitts flag
With the VAP.
draped
Oh
over her
yeah,
head. Mhm.
that one was lovely as well.
We also have Veronica Julius. We talked about Veronica a
Mhm.
few weeks ago or last week. Veronica is,
Yeah.
another fashion trendsetter. We have Latoya and Crystal Connor of Latoya's Fashion Sisters again.
Mhm.
Um, then we have Laverne Labo Francis, footballer.
Yes,
The
amazing
footballer,
footballer, not just footballer. Like she could be up there with some of
the
the best.
footballer.
Trust me.
Then we have Patrice Renee Harris. Patrice is known for being Patrice,
Yes.
and she's currently the communications manager at Skelec.
When y'all get all this
Patrice,
good
Patrice does
information from
all
Skelec,
sorts of stuff.
Patrice. So every time
Mhm.
y'all electricity goes or y'all having some kind of issue, she's there. She's there for you. Remember when we had the
Ah,
blackout and we constantly got updates?
Patrice.
Patrice. Okay, we got it.
Patrice was Patrice again.
Yes.
Um, then we also have Kashmin Hope, and she is described as as a student, multifaceted marketing and business development professional.
Okay, girl.
She is currently the business sales manager at the cable. Um, you know,
Yes.
talent everywhere. We also have Kamara Celine Lee, who is the founder and chief executive officer of Talent Plus. So big things. Then we have a frequent guest on our show, Donala Laplace.
Yes.
Donala
My
has
love.
recently been appointed the second secretary at the St. Kitts and Nevis High Commission in Ottawa, Canada.
Okay.
She's also served as a service officer assigned to the multilateral division. Donala does it all. She's also the vice president of Impact Organization.
Yes.
And we have had Impact on the show multiple times. So
They have been.
you're familiar with Donala.
Oh, just so young and just doing so
Who else
many
do we
good things.
have? Doing big things.
Yeah.
We have Shakama, who's more, widely known as Shadan Warner, photographer, videographer, and
Bruh.
producer who does it
She is
all.
an innovator in this. Okay. The video work that she does and the picture she does. I'm always happy when her pictures come across my timeline.
Yeah, one of my favorite carnival pictures actually was captured by Shadan,
Oh,
and I
which
didn't
one?
know until somebody sent me, and he was like, "This you the picture?"
Oh,
And I was like, "Oh, it was a few years back. I think like
I love those
2017
so
or
much
something."
because they catch you in your
Um,
element,
in the moment, it's just
man.
it was like a epic picture. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was on top of a water truck, and the water was
Of course, because you
spraying,
had to climb
and
something. Of course, carnival
yeah,
climbing, Kevon.
it's a great moment. So thank you, Shannon, for that capture. Um, yeah, it's just one of my favorites. Then we also have um, Kimon Moving, who has a beautiful voice and lent her
Mm-hmm.
vocal ability to several songs and musical projects in the Federation.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also a financial professional.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
Okay.
get it together. If you need some help, call Kimon Moving. We also have Kiana Ibel, I might say it wrong. Um, she is the co-owner of Iridescent Designs, and
Oh
she
yes.
is also currently pursuing studies in the Fashion Institute of
Let me tell
Technology
you
in New York.
something, Kevon. I
So,
remember seeing this girl when she was young. Like she's young, eh? But I mean, like at an age that you can't believe that somebody this young is creating this. She,
mhm,
yeah, yeah.
she's great, and
I
she
tip my
also
hat
launched
to
her
her.
a daring, sexy, sultry store called the Ibel Store in late 2020.
Okay,
So, big thing.
just I
Then
tell
we
you.
also have Cindy Liburd, who mastered her love for fashion modeling and pageantry. She launched Fashion Capital in 2010 in Nevis. She's a former model and
Mm-hmm.
pageant contestant. So,
Yes, I
yeah.
love her as well.
Then we have on the list, last but definitely not least, we talked about her a few weeks ago. We have Para Jenkins,
Oh,
more locally known as Tabitha. She goes by Para as her
those
artist
songs
name.
by.
She's a singer songwriter, producer, and musician from the Caribbean island of St. Kitts who is making waves in the music industry. And
We,
she's also, uh, um, she co owns a brand called Tame the Storm with
mm-hmm.
her partner, Lavida. So everybody knows Tame the Storm, which is a hair brand,
Mm-hmm.
hair and skin.
Yeah, hair
And
and
they
skin.
do lots of great hair products, and lots of locals use it and support it, including I don't remember the name of the person, but there's a celebrity that mentioned one of the products on
Yeah, I
her
think
list
I
of things
remember
that
that
she
on.
loves.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. I remember
I
that.
think it's somebody from one of those Real Housewives stuff. They mentioned that they loved one of their Tame the Storm products.
Yeah.
But big things again as usual.
So
So
people, I hope
shout
you
out to
listen
all
to.
20 of those ladies on the list.
Yeah, I hope you listen to this list and realize that you can find so many things that you didn't even realize that you need, or can
Hmm.
get locally. So just go to this list and you'll see because you can even imagine you can even get hair and skin products. I mean, there's so many.
Locally owned.
There's so many hair and skin product brands, but for you to get something that you know came from your soil,
Hmm.
oh, you can't
It's a
get
good
better than
feeling.
that. Yeah.
Um, we also have, well, if you want to check out the list in detail, because I've sort of breezed through it, you could go on timescaribbean.com and check out
Mhm.
the list. It was a bit better than I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, congrats to all 20 of the ladies on the list.
But yeah.
Let's see. Hold on, the links have been a meltdown. Okay, so we're giving you a COVID update. I know everybody fed up,
Mm.
including me, but
And that's
we
why we
have to do
started
it
with
still.
good things.
So COVID update in the in the Federation. So as of Tuesday, 30th March 2021, there's a total doses administered 9,000 9,034,
Mhm.
which is 27.3% of the target population. Um, Doses administered in St. Kitts, 6,644. Doses administered in Nevis, 2,390. So we're getting up there.
Mhm. It was a nice little jump.
Maybe we'll hit the 30% mark by the weekend.
Yeah.
So you know,
It was honestly a nice little jump to see more green on the bar.
yeah.
Yeah.
And let's I'll just tie this in one time. So
Mhm.
there's hashtags you can use if you want to sort of, jump on the social media wave. You can use the hashtag don't wait vaccinate and or the hashtag our best shot. So, when you click on the hashtag, you
Our
should be
best
able
shot.
to see all of the other petitions and divisions that participated in the vaccine roll out vaccine campaign. But um, a point, which is something that's been circulating the news sources in the past, well, this week, is be careful when you're posting your vaccine information. I know everybody wants to show that they're vaccinated and they want to take pictures with their vaccine cards and stuff. Just be mindful that your vaccination card has a lot of information on it. So just be a bit mindful about what is showing before you post it. Make sure because identity theft is real.
Mhm.
It has on your date of birth, your name, your middle name, your last name. It has on a lot of information.
It
So
does.
just be mindful when posting your vaccination cards to, you can either make sure it's strategically not showing, or you can just blur it out, or, on the lot of Instagram and stuff, you can mark it out with your little Instagram options.
Mhm.
Just be mindful when posting your vaccination
And
information.
posting
because we want
anything
to
on
keep
social media because
Right, anything. Even, and they made it a point in the other articles to talk about other stuff. Like, when people get their driver's license for the first time, they post it. Be very
Oh,
mindful
Lord.
about that as well. Your driver's license has on a lot of information.
Mhm.
Your first name, your last name, your blood type, your date of birth,
Identity
your
theft
address.
is real, okay? It might not be
Everything.
as
Right.
talked about, but it is real. So y'all have to be very careful when y'all posting these things on the internet
Right.
because y'all don't
So-
want to 20 years down the line, even maybe might not even be that much, but somewhere down the line you realize somebody
Right, you go
doing
to a
something
bank
in
for
your
a
name.
loan, and then they tell you, no, you have 3 loans over here, and you're like, huh? Don't have any. That's identity theft. People
Yeah.
opening things in your name, and taking out products and stuff in your name. So just be careful when you're posting your anything that has information on it, including your vaccination card. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, so let's take a very, very short break, and we'll come back with even more Island Tea on WINNMedia SKN. So we will be right back.
From the South, 98.9 WINN FM.
Caribbean tourism is dead in the water and wholly dependent on what's next in the United States, Europe, and Canada.
Global cases have now passed 13 million just 5 days after we hit the 12 million mark.
In Jamaica, residents of the parish of Hanover are in shock over the brutal slaying of 6 family members on Thursday night.
Chauvin had his knee on Mr. Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds in total.
It's too much. It's too.
The news does not always have to be about this. There's a lot of good news, good stories, good people, good ideas to talk about. So listen up on Thursdays to Only Good News with your host, Enoite Inanga, from 7 to 8 p.m. It's going to be only good news for 1 hour, where we will share good news from stories and people, locally, regionally, and all over the world. And there's more. You will get to hear from people telling their stories of success, breakthroughs, and perseverance as we feature a special guest each week. It's Only Good News, and it's happening this Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. right after the, regular news. Only Good News on WINN FM 98.9 and WINNFM.com.
Try to find a way to spend your time in positivity.
Looking for the best price on your third-party insurance? Well, look no more. The insurance company of the West Indies, ICWI, has the best protection at the best price with no deductible. What are you waiting for? Click, call 465-8753 or visit us at 1C Bird Rock Road or in Nevis number 22 Solomon Arcade, Main Street. Payment options available.
For in-depth conversation into social, political, and economic issues affecting the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, tune into Voices every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. We care about the voices of the people.
We hear voices from the ghetto, crying, 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 Lord, Lord, crying, voices from the ghetto.
Horseroads Building and Nevis Centers are making lawn and garden easy. Come to Horseroads Building and Nevis Center now and get 25% off store-wide on our entire lawn and garden department. Yes! For the months of February and March, Horseroads Building Center and Nevis Center is making improving your lawn and garden easy with 25% off all garden supplies, garden equipment, garden accessories, including weed eaters, lawnmowers, and much more. Get 25% off all lawn and garden items happening now at Horseroads Building Center in St Kitts and Nevis. Horseroads Building and Nevis Centers, making home improvement easy.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WINN FM.
The symptoms of the coronavirus are similar to those of the common flu or cold, which are consistent coughing and sneezing, fever that does not go away, and difficulty breathing. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, it is advisable to stay at home until you recover, or if you want to go to your doctor, call first and tell your doctor of your symptoms, any recent travel or contact with travelers. And lastly, please avoid spitting in public. Recent cases have shown that people most likely to be at risk if they contract the virus are persons over age 60 and persons that have an underlying medical condition such as hypertension, diabetes, kidney disease, or a respiratory condition. It is advisable to avoid large crowds or other places where you might have to come in contact with people who are showing signs of the coronavirus. This is a message from the Ministry of Health and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA.
Social Security, the #1 institution in the whole Federation. People, listen to me. Let's talk about Social Security. I know it ain't nothing new, but I must bring the facts to you. Social Security through the years has proven to you that it really cares. Nobody making no heap of profit. It's the common man who does benefit, who does help you whenever you sit. Social Security, when you get old, how you benefit. Social Security, who always there to give assistance. Social Security, they even provide orphans allowance. Social Security, let we be grateful, cause we know they're real helpful. Let's contribute and pay we levy. Big up Social Security.
The future with Social Security. I am Camila Lawrence, Public Relations and Customer Service Manager. And with me this morning is Mr. Walvin Shiverton, the Benefits Manager. We're going to just reminders and tips on how to make sure that your benefit is not delayed with us. But before we go into that, I just want to let the public know that our accounts have been published to our website, so persons who are interested in that data, the 2018 and 2019 financial statements are available at socialsecurity.kn. The actuarial studies, reports rather, are also there, which gives a pretty good synopsis, a real deep picture of what Social Security status is and how we stand as it relates to the longevity of the fund. Rest assured, though, that our Social Security Fund is sound and will be sound up until 2040, but we're just there. Soon, 20 years, in 20 years' time, we'll be there. And the responsible thing for us to do is to make adjustments. So, of course, as we move along, you will be continuing to hear lots more as it relates to the reform agenda. Mr. Shiverton, welcome.
Yes, thank you for and welcome. Thank you for having me, and I must say it's good to be here. I must say good morning as well to the listening public.
Awesome. You know, this morning when I was coming, my mind was on our retirees, so I wanted to take an opportunity to big them up as well. I don't want to call any names because I don't want to forget out anybody or to make anyone feel less than. So I want to shout out all our past staff members. Your contribution is in fact one of the reasons why our Social Security is sound and solid today. So wherever you are enjoying your retirement, bless up. We are thankful and grateful for your work. Now, Mr. Shiverton, I wanted to speak about those things that impact someone's ability to have the claim processed in a speedy time. Tell us some of the reasons why claims are delayed.
Yes, one of the major things that would prevent a person from obtaining their claim on time, and even before I say that, we have what we call a customer service charter. Mm-hmm. For every claim that we receive, we deal with it with high importance. And according to the charter, if it's a short-term claim like sickness, benefit, maternity, or employment injury, our pledge, our commitment is to settle that claim within a week, 1 to 10 days. If it's a long-term claim like a pension, age pension, survivor's pension, invalidity pension, our pledge is to settle it within 1 month of its receipt date. Mm-hmm. We have been doing a very excellent job at that because we have been settling the claims in the region of 90% for the short-term claims and likewise in the 90s for the long-terms. But there are few that would be delayed for whatever reason. Now, in relation to the claim, we are paying based upon person's current wages. And as a result, the wages have to be paid by the employer. And so one of the major things that would prevent someone from getting a claim on time would be delinquency on the employer's part. Because each employer, once that period of employment has passed, for example, a person worked for the month of February, they have up until the end of March to submit the contributions. For whatever reason, and we know, especially in the time that we are living in, things are very difficult. Yes. There are lots of financial challenges. And so that may prevent the employer from submitting the contributions in time, which in a domino effect affects the processing of the claim. There are some who are delinquent because of that reason, and there are those who are delinquent because of other challenges. Some who are purposefully delinquent. And so that is why we often encourage employees to continually come to the office, give us a call, obtain a contribution statement, and you will see how current you are with regards to your contribution, because it definitely affects claims processing. Yes,
so to be clear, it really is a domino effect. We cannot process the claim if we don't have the
current wages
information.
That's right.
When we process a claim, what period do we use?
Well, there are two aspects of it in that let's deal with the most common type of benefit is the sickness benefit. If a person is sick today, according to the Social Security regulations, we pay the claim based upon the 13 weeks prior to the illness. 13 weeks works out to be about 3 months. And so if I'm sick in February, then my 13-week period would be 3 months prior to that. Okay? Because of the grace period, we count from December, November, October, back for the 13 weeks or 3 months. So the wages in question would be those 3 months, October, November, December,
so that's,
to process that claim.
That is using a period. Let's say you get sick in February, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. So if you get sick in February, we're not looking at January.
No.
Because it means that your employer would not have submitted your January wage until the
end of February. That's correct.
So, okay. So you eliminate the immediate month, the month before, the preceding month. So then you go 3 months back from that.
That's right.
So that would be December, November, October.
That's correct.
Okay, great. So I don't think people quite get that part. They often look at, well, I worked in January, or I worked in February, where I'm not using those wages. But to be clear, because the law legislates that the employer has up until the end of the following month.
That's correct.
That is why that is so. I hope this clears it up for many persons with that question.
Yes, there's one other thing. When the person falls short, because in those 3 months they must have at least 8 out of the past 13 contributions.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes down to that slim margin, then what we do, we count immediately back the 13 weeks. So that only under those circumstances you find January would come into play, because the person has to at least make 8 out of the last 13 weeks. Now, the other aspect of it is with maternity, because with maternity, it's no longer the 3 months. We count way back to the 9 months prior to the expected date of delivery of the baby, and 9 months works out to be 39 weeks. And similarly, the grace period comes into play. So we'll count back the 9 months, skipping the first month, and in that period, they must have at least 20 contributions out of the 39 continuous weeks.
Okay, so we understand that for sickness, you must have at least 8 out of the last 13.
That's correct.
And you must also have, for pregnancy, for maternity, you must also have 20 for, in order to qualify for
That's
benefit.
right. That's right.
Okay. So we spoke about delinquency on the part of the employer to submit the information. What's another challenge or reason why claims are often delayed?
Now, sometimes because of errors, we may need additional information. And that is why we encourage the general public, our claimants, to submit their claims and to complete it properly. Don't leave the office. Scan through it. Ensure that you sign the form. Ensure that the various fields are filled properly. And what we have today is that our service provides direct deposit to persons' accounts, so they don't have to wait for the postal service. And so we also have to ensure that the information given is absolutely correct. If it's not, sometimes a claim may come in by the mail, and the person, for whatever reason, forgets perhaps to sign. And so we have to contact them to get because we cannot process a claim without the person's signature making it binding. And so errors can cause a delay in the submission of the processing of the claim. The error could be on the part of the person. It could also be on the part of the doctor who may have omitted something, or even the employer. And so we have persons employed at Social Security who will go after the person and get it corrected. So you find that it may delay it for perhaps a day. Supporting documentation may be required, because for every claim, it has to be supported by a medical certificate. In the case of perhaps long-term claims like survivors, we have to have the death certificate, we have to have the marriage certificate. If it's a child, we have to have the birth certificate, and the birth certificate if it's the case where the father was the one who passed away. On that birth certificate should have the father's name. If not, there is something called a certificate of paternity, which must accompany the claim. So when these documents are not submitted, then these also can cause a delay in the settlement of the claim.
Another important one that caused delay, especially for persons who reside overseas and are eligible to claim, is the fact that the forms have not been notarized.
Right.
And it is important for us to stress here this opportunity for us to tell the public that even the Social Security form itself that you download from our website must be notarized. So the form must be notarized. Whatever documents you're presenting to Social Security must be notarized. And whatever receipts also must be original receipts So that's one other reason why sometimes claims are delayed. We don't have the proper signature or notary that gives it effect. Before we moved on, you were making a note about the claims. One of the common reasons is that persons have a name in Social Security, but when they present themselves to the doctor, they have a different name. Can you speak about that?
Yes, and that is that's another important aspect, in that persons may have gotten married. For many years, person might have been carrying a specific name, Susan Smith. But then when the birth certificate comes in, or the passport, the person's surname is actually Keynes. And so this can cause a delay, because then we have to get that disparity cleared up. It can be cleared up in two ways. The supporting document to effect the name change can be submitted to the office, or if it's a case that the person has legitimately two names, then someone, a senior officer or a lawyer, and even a notary public justice of the peace can certify that the two names apply to the same person, and so that would clear up that. But it's a real fact that persons, they get married, but for whatever reason they don't come to the office to update their marital status, and so the doctor on his file may still have the maiden name and completes the form with the maiden name, but then the supporting document shows that the person was in fact married.
Yes, and then that means the employer has a different name.
Right.
And then because of the seriousness of Social Security claims, the implications of getting money under a wrong name and stuff like that, we have to ensure that the record is clear and that audit don't pull it aside and say, hey, you can't pay this, and so on. So these are some of the internal things in the background that you may not see while you're outside saying, hey, social staying long with me claim. They ain't like pay. We don't hear that a lot, but a lot goes on. We love to pay. We love to ensure that persons get their benefits. And every day we can share a testimony of someone who has benefited greatly from Social Security. Any other reasons why claims are sometimes delayed? We spoke about delinquency. We spoke about change of names. We also spoke about...
well, we spoke about the errors.
Yes.
But one of the other things that may cause a claim to be delayed is if the claim is received, and then you mentioned the person being overseas, they have not appointed a payee. Okay? Or a person may have submitted a claim to us, and, things happen, and the person passes away, or they go away without appointing someone to have the receipt of the funds. And so that as well can cause a delay. I want to encourage the general public that is listening to ensure that you not only listen, but you take heed, because what we want is to have, when you submit your claim, you get it without any form of delay. Come into the office if you have a marital status that has changed. Bring the supporting documents, your marriage certificate, your passport, your deed poll, whatever legal document you have, and get your file updated. We like to have updated files on our insured persons. If you have moved, let us know about it. We have forms that you can come in, a change of address form. So you update your telephone number, your cell phone or mobile number, so that everything we have with regards your records is up to date.
I think that's important to note. And of course, callers, you can call in. The numbers to call.
Well, it looks like they heard you as soon
as
they said it.
Okay.
But yeah, you can tell them the numbers to call in the meantime.
Okay. My gosh, I just get a blank.
Okay, well, it's no problem. The person is ready. Caller, good morning. You're live.
Hello, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Social Security people here?
Yes, this is us.
Okay. Here's the question I have to ask. St. Kitts is a small country. We don't have hundreds or thousands of employers here who run a business. But yet, so many times, companies Well, workers complain that the employer is taking out the Social Security, but they're not paying it in. Now, how could this happen? If I know that there's a business that's next to me here, and they're employing people, it's easy for me to check the business to see whether or not they're paying Social Security. I don't think that employees have to wait until they get sick and to go down Social Security and to hear that no money down there for them. I believe that if you have many employers who are not paying into Social Security and you hear it all over the place, how come Social Security don't take it upon themselves and say, well, look, there's a new business there. Let's go and check and see if they have any workers they registered. I put the blame squarely because some workers are afraid to go to Social Security. I have known where some workers employees go to Social Security and they get fired. So I'm saying, if we have just a small community with so little, you could walk down the whole of Bastille and see who does the business and see whether they're paying Social Security. I just need to ask the question there.
Okay.
Why is it that a lot of these employers go under the radar? And what bother me, they take out the money, but they don't pay it in. I don't mind if they say, look, we ain't taking out the money. They take out the money, but they don't pay.
No, we got to mind.
I don't think you could address it.
We have to mind. But I'll respond. I'll respond.
But that's what I'm saying. How come that they're taking out the money and you all don't know that they're paying it until somebody come in here? So the fellow is left, the person is left to struggle for themselves. Now, they're buying a Social Security there for me, so.
Okay.
Let them story.
All right. No, the lead bedden story in India. No.
Well, that's how it appears.
No, let me explain. No, compliance is a major factor, an important facet of Social Security. And our inspectors do make scouting visits, do investigate employers' wages, and pick up that those persons are not paying. However, it is a collective responsibility for all of us, insured persons, workers, employers, to make sure that we know our contribution status and how we stand with Social Security. We have to be mindful, though, and we take full responsibility because it is our job to collect and to investigate employers' wage records and so on. It is our job to do so, and we do that. But we do, in fact, need the supportive effort of everyone involved because employees, there are less of us working than the entire workforce at Social Security. Let's say we have 14 inspectors, we have far more employees than that. So we all have to take a collective responsibility to check on our contribution status because there are some that Social Security will miss off that, and there are others that we will pick up on and address immediately. So we are doing our part, and we can do better. I will say that we can do better. There's always room for improvement, but we need everyone to pay just as much attention to Social Security as us. Thank you for that submission. I'll be sure to take it back to the compliance department so that they can do that. Is there someone else? Okay. Thank you, caller. Good morning.
Oh, no, not a caller. Kevon
we have another caller?
No, I was telling her that you want to read a question off the live.
Okay, go right ahead.
Oh, yes, so we have a question on the live, and the person is asking, how does Social Security know if recipients living overseas are dead or alive?
Okay, very good question. No, that's a benefit question, and Mr. Shiverton could answer that.
Yes, we have checks and balances in place at Social Security, and one of them is called a life certificate. For persons living overseas, they are required, before payment is made, to provide that proof of the living, that they are alive. They have to get that life certificate. They can get it from our website, go to a notary public, and the person will certify them as being alive. Once that is done, then the payment is duly made. And so it's either monthly, the person can submit it. Perhaps they can go because it comes at a cost. So persons, what we have found is that persons would do that either monthly, quarterly, or biannually. But that is something that is in place for persons residing overseas.
And it is also in place for persons who reside here. Once a year, I'm sure you would hear persons say, I have to get my life certificate to Social Security, because if you don't do that, your payments are ceased until you present that to say, here, I'm alive and I'd like my Social Security pension. So we don't go on paying, especially overseas, because we don't know what's the person's status, whether they're alive or dead. So unless we have that life certificate, there is no payment. And let me put it in real context. If you submit a life certificate in March, that would only cover the period. Before then, we don't make advance payments. So let's say the person last submitted in December, we'd only pay January, February, and March. So April coming up and they want their pension, they have to again go back to a notary and make the submission in order for us to pay it. That's one of the ways that we have to put it, one of the ways we've put in place to ensure that Social Security is not taken advantage of. Good question on the wall. We appreciate that. Back to the compliance matter, I want to assure the public that we are doing our part to make sure that compliance is kept up, but we really need a collective effort, especially during this pandemic. We know that persons are taking a chance, working under the table, agreeing with their employer not to take out any Social Security, or employers are underreporting. They have 15, but on the record they only show us 6. So it's important that you check. We see too many sad stories, as well as we find a lot of incidences and we address them, but we don't want it to be a dire situation where there's no recourse. The person either gone away, die, or something, and we have no record at all that you were in receipt or you were working and contributions were taken. And that comes to my point of the importance of a pay slip. Mr. Shiverton, you want to speak about the importance of a pay slip?
Yes, that is vitally important in that, and it's actually a part of the law, in that if a person is working, whether they get paid weekly, every 2 weeks, or monthly, you must have documentary evidence of your salary and these requisite deductions. And that's what a pay slip really is. It tells you how much is paid and how much has been deducted from your salary to pay into the 3 funds that exist: the Social Security, the Housing and Social Development Levy, and the severance. And so ensure, general public, I'm saying to you, ensure that you have your employers giving you that pay slip at the end of your pay period. I also want to make an appeal, because based upon the caller's request, for those who are employers, some persons are in the formal sector, some persons are in the informal sector. Mm-hmm. Whether you're formal or you're informal, it's by law. You have to make that contribution. Pay the contributions. It's easier to keep up to date than it is to fall delinquent.
And we understand the challenge, especially now. So we are encouraging you not to stay away and to present false report. Come in. We are ready and willing to work out an arrangement. I know many businesses who have been proper. They've had proper records, and now they're running behind because there's no income, and we are a tourism-driven economy. So we understand that we will have increased challenges. Mm-hmm. But it's important at the end of the day, when you're sick and unable to go to work, if you're having a baby, if you've reached the age of pensionable age at 62, you need that guaranteed assurance that Social Security will provide and take care of you. So we out of time already. Looks so sweet and done already.
That was so fast.
I can't believe we out of time already. But it was important that we address these little concerns that, present some challenge for the insured and as well as Social Security. Any parting words, Mr. Shiverton?
Well, just to say, I've enjoyed being here at WINN FM once again, and I want to continuously encourage persons, come in and check on your contribution history. If you have made a claim and you have not received payment as yet, give us a call. We'll be more than happy to see what it is and to get your claim settled.
I also want to end by saying it is a collective responsibility of every insured person, every employer, and us at Social Security to protect our Social Security fund. I don't ever want to be seated here one day and saying, Lord, we run out of money and don't bang us up. No.
Because they ain't accepting that.
No, me ain't accepting it either. We have a collective responsibility to take care of our Social Security fund, to report, and to keep us accountable. If you see we are slacking in an area, let us know so that we can address it. Until then, employers, pay your contributions in full and on time. And if you are experiencing a challenge, be sure to contact us. Have a good day, everyone.
Yes, that was Social Security with all that good information, necessary information for a lot of us, because I'm sure that we probably did not know before. But stay right here. Stay tuned. We will be back with more Island Tea on WINNMedia FKN.
Social Security, the #1 institution in the whole federation.
Is overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
Here we go again! The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Marine Resources present Agri-Easter Night Market! Wednesday, 31st March from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. Local sellers bringing you the freshest crops, meat, fish and prepared food. The first one was so nice, we had to do it twice. And this time, it's the Easter season. So, hop on over to the Bastia Public Market and get your Easter goodies, such as local fruits and vegetables, jams, local wines, and much, much more. Remember the date, Wednesday, March 31st, 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. See you at Agri-Easter Night Market.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade. And it is still Wednesday, hump day. Yeah.
Halfway there, people. We are almost
halfway
to
there.
the end of this week anyway.
The time is 9:04 a.m. So we're almost there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Friday,
So-
yes, a long way. You know what I'm most happy about? Friday. So technically the week finishes tomorrow for people who are working, so I can't even really call it a hump. We passed the hump. I'm so excited. I can sleep on Friday, not have to wake up to do anything. Well, I lie because, you know, mommy duties. But besides that, we are here at another long weekend.
Right. So, because we have Friday and Monday, right?
Yeah, Friday and Monday.
Yeah, Friday and Monday. Awesome. So, This is, yeah. So let's talk about some things. Earlier we brought up that there was an accident that occurred at the top of 4th Street and Central Street. Kevon Street.
Well, we actually only brought up the traffic light. And
we mentioned it briefly,
so we didn't bring up the accident, but yes, there was an accident yesterday. That's what I was talking about when I say we need trigger warnings for these videos, because the way they just, give us that raw. I did not expect to see when that man moved his hand, a man just laying there looking unconscious. That was, I hope he's okay. I hope that he got the medical attention that he needed. Because,
I hope that the individual that hit the gentleman stopped and took responsibility. And if not, I hope the bystanders were able to point the police in the right direction.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm pretty sure we'll get more information on that today or sometime soon, because I'm sure people are trying to figure out like how such a terrible thing could happen. But that's scary, like even trying to cross the road sometimes, even when it's clear, like in my head I'm like, hustle, because anything can happen and you don't want to be on the receiving end of that, because it's probably traumatizing for the person who got hit and also for the person who was a part of that accident. So be careful, people. Be careful. But Kevon, we have a call. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Jade.
Good morning.
Man, I just couldn't pass the moment. I saw how you gloss over your commendation.
I didn't really.
You ain't got to be proud, When you deserve it, you deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes as women, we say, oh, well.
I'm not
a politician get a half a piece of commendation and it all day it wear you out. Now it's true. Oh, Mr. Honorable so-and-so said so-and-so.
Mm-hmm.
May not even be of much consequence, but you're worn out. Well, I don't know. You never met you. Did not know you did all those exciting things.
I do a little thing in my spare time.
Y'all don't make it sound so. After yesterday, I was trying to convince. I went down to the community center where we have the Association of Persons with Disability.
Mm-hmm.
And this young lady, they did an online course in, I think it's Microsoft. And she said, how hard it was. You and I this. I said, child, you made it.
Mm-hmm.
You made it. We tend to downplay our achievements. I think because they expect us to fall below the men,
Oh, Lord.
No, it's a fact. It's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of women out there doing a lot of great things.
They are.
And we just gloss over it. And a man change a tire, he get all kind of, honors. So I want to commend you.
Thank you.
Do you know Johnny Boone? That name mean anything to you?
Johnny, I'm not.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, he's an announcer on Dominion Radio.
I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
Well, I know we're in different speed. That's why you never hear. But he pursued some leadership training in the U.S. And this is a program maybe some of you could take a look at. It is sponsored by USAID. And what they do, they select you based on your application and whatever. And you do attachments with businesses or persons who are in the same field with you in the USA.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he did it. He and a young fellow who owned a fashion store on Rosemary Lane. I think it's a Cadiwa, the village. The young fellow Brown, I think his name was. That's up your street.
The village?
Both of them went
to
the state.
Yes. Oh, yes, I know exactly who you mean.
Mm-hmm. But he has a podcast he does every week called Big Ask, BIGASK. in which he interviews young people who are doing things.
That's cool.
And,
we need more of that.
Not in St. Kitts alone. Antigua, different islands, you know.
Yeah, we definitely
and
need
if
more of
people
that.
were to listen, you would get rid of the impression that young people not doing anything.
I'm shocked that people still have that impression, actually.
Well, that's why I'm encouraging people to listen to it. B-I-G, Big Axe, A-S-K. You could download the podcast. Young people, and this young fellow, he does motivational talks and so. Last Friday, he went down to the community center where we had these 4 graduates on the course. You have to motivate them. And I am sure that you are a motivator. I did not know that you were the producer. And I must tell you that your production has improved.
Thank you.
Yeah, at first it was ad hoc. My good friend Amali. Good morning, Amali. I love you. Good morning, Azem. Hope you're doing better. Well, Kevon in the motherland. My husband land, I must say. You know, and so for Kevon, stop gasping every minute on the radio. Like in pain, you know? he has this, I don't even think he's aware of it. He does more than
maybe I am.
I love you, and I love your spirit. I love all of you. And Jade, big up yourself.
Thank you, Miss Henry.
Continue to motivate the young people. Because when there's no motivation, you're going to depression and the devil does work havoc on your mind. So happy Easter to all who are listening and God bless you. So
You
make
as
up yourself
well.
again.
Azem said to tell you hi. Azem, the people miss you, okay? I will.
Yes,
anyway, I already told you I am willing to
fingers crossed, he'll be
sacrifice.
back soon.
You already know my sacrifice, so just let me know when I need to gear up because I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed by this. But yeah, thank you, and I hope everybody listening, who does great things, they recognize that they contribute in a major way to our society. Even if you think you don't, trust me, you really do.
Unfortunately. Put our trust in Jade. Oh boy.
Who? What? Put over what? Oh, y'all put y'all
So
trust
we
in
put
me?
our trust in Jade.
Boy. I still can't understand how I convince you and Azem and Amali to do this on such short notice, because I think I called you like the weekend.
I think
the weekend, and we were supposed to start on Monday.
I think like it was like
I remember because I know I did all of this on a Friday.
To start on the Monday.
Yeah, I spoke to someone and then and I just created all of this on a Friday night, and then tried to work on it over the weekend.
And you know, I didn't even pick up.
What?
I don't like to answer phones. I don't really answer phone calls. So when I see you call, I just say, why do I want this to ring out, or I just pick it up? So I say, you know what? She don't call me. Don't call me. So let's see what actually is the issue. So
exactly. If I call it, if I'm calling you, you know it's important, because I don't really call people. I would message you, but if I call you, yeah, it's important. You almost didn't answer me. Rude.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. I just wasn't gonna answer.
Yeah, and I told him Alice to his face, so he didn't even get a phone call. We were in the same place, and I was like,
if you start
friend.
telling me, I would just run.
Oh boy. Azem got a phone call as well though. All of y'all were so like, okay, let's do it. I appreciate that. I really appreciate you guys for not making me have to pull out my hair before hiring y'all. I mean, after is a whole different story, so.
Do we gonna ignore Azem comment?
What?
Azem said something that we're just gonna ignore.
Yes, as I told y'all, let me tell you something. A lot of people, right? Most of the things that they used to blame Amali for saying, or blame you for saying, it used to be Azem, you know? It really used to be Azem, but they didn't realize. So Azem used to be in here getting away with all kind of things, and poor Amali just being thrown under the bus on a regular. But now it's him, so people can hear him. They're gonna realize, you know, when Azem they say or Jade say, you're gonna realize. And I'm only saying all of this because he ain't here, so he can't refute these claims currently. I think I remember tomorrow, so it's fine. Come on, what else do we have on the agenda?
Many things. Many things. So, let's see where to start. I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about this one. This one's a bit interesting and a bit funny. Not really, but funny. So, a fugitive in the Caribbean has been caught after posting YouTube cooking videos. So after 7 years on the run, a fugitive with ties to the mafia was caught in the Caribbean after he appeared in YouTube cooking videos. According to reports, Mark Ferrin Claude Biart has been on the run since 2014, when Italian prosecutors ordered his arrest for trafficking in cocaine and in the Netherlands on behalf of the Kakola clan.
I don't know the clans. I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Can't pronounce that word, mafia. He was found in the Dominican Republic after appearing in several cooking videos. His face was concealed, but authorities were able to identify him by the tattoos on his body. In a statement issued on Monday, police said the 53-year-old settled in Boca Chica, an Italian expat community. So you see how you always can't make yourself a catch?
This is not funny, but it is hilarious because, sir, let's
7 years on the run.
You are a fugitive.
Is that you are in a cooking videos?
This is really social media does be the downfall of us far too often, because why are you you have this tattoos? I'm pretty sure the tattoos were distinctive. If the police didn't see your face but could identify you by your tattoos must have been distinctive. You hop on YouTube to be an influencer, and now you're going back.
Well, on the run for 7 years. I mean, you made it 7 years.
And you just
you spoiled it because you wanted to be cooking.
The man wanted to be an influencer, okay? This fugitive life was in it. The man was fed up. He wanted to change pace, a change of scenery, so he decided to be an influencer and, do the chef thing on YouTube. He didn't realize that police officers also watch YouTube and also probably like food. Imagine you're surprised, right? You are the officer on this case. And you turn on a video and you're just like, I know this tattoo. It can't be. The man on YouTube cooking. Kevon, the man is on YouTube cooking as a fugitive.
Cooking.
He's in the mafia.
What should his channel name be? Cooking with Fugitive? Like
no, cooking with. Oh wow, no, I can't say
cooking with a convict. Like, I mean, what?
That's a good one. Sorry, this isn't funny. I apologize.
Yeah, let me stop. But let's see what else is on the lineup. So
cooking with a convict. I am down.
I'm picking and choosing like a lottery. So let's talk about this one. So the opposition, St Kitts and Nevis Labour Party, joins the COVID-19 task force. So they joined as a consultative role. This announcement comes in the form of a press release from the opposition that after 18 months of lobbying to join in on the all-of-society approach to the COVID-19 response, it has finally been invited. The release reads that the SKNLP has always expressed interest in supporting the government's management of the pandemic in matters which concern public health and the social fabric of the country. The SKNLP will always prioritize participation over politics. Therefore, we will take this long-awaited opportunity to contribute to the management of COVID-19. However, they have some questions. The 3 questions proposed were, why so late? Why now? And is this a remedy? Hold on. Is this a remedial approach for the failed consultative process? It has been a little over years in response to such, and apart from the parliament, the public response or discourse from the opposition seemed to have been funneled through niche channels. in a homogeneous grouping instead of including the wider St Kitts and Nevis. So on Tuesday, March 30th, the SKNLP said it joined to support a return to some degree of livable for, and it listed a number of things, which are those out of work, defaulting on loan payments, victims of growing cases of domestic violence, those unable to access severance payments, mothers struggling to feed their children, fathers struggling to support their families, and families that are struggling to stay together. So.
Well, that was my first question as well. Before getting to the questions, while I was reading this article, I was like, where this, I mean, I thought this was like, this should have been a given. Why is this now coming? And then I saw the questions, and I was like, okay, at least I'm not the only person thinking about this. But that letter was spicy. That was like diplomatic shade. They said some things in there, like, you know. But hey, we're not in charge. We just find these things out after. I am happy that they're doing a collaborative effort, because it should have been from the beginning anyway, because, you know, they're still a part of this government.
Yeah.
Kevon.
See what else? Let me see what. Yeah, I'm scanning to see which one I'm gonna pick from next.
I
think I'm gonna choose our cousins across the.
Oh dear.
Let's talk about Antigua.
Lord.
So, Prime Minister Gaston Brown is under fire for boasting about his wife's assets and poor shaming. So the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Gaston Brown, is being heavily criticized for what some have described as distasteful and insensitive comments made during his weekly radio show over the weekend. PM Brown said that his wife, Maria, and all other cabinet colleagues are well established and have no need to steal from the government. To the... To the surprise of many, he said his wife, who is not yet 30 years old already, has significant assets, and compared her to members of the UPP, the oppositional party, who he said aren't as financially secure. Sean Bird is about 55 years old, doesn't own a home, and lives with mommy. This is his words. He also said, Alistair Thomas, 60-something, Alistair lives in a house that was owned by the daughter of what's his name there, Mr. Warner in Wilkies. She's deceased now.
Oh dear.
So Gaston backward.
What?
So he further stated that they should they ever take office, they first of all have to think they are going to hustle to make money to build a home in their old age, and these people are in their 50s and 60s. But the Prime Minister did not stop there.
He
Of
should
the
have.
opposition, he said, they are not here to serve. They are looking for money to line their pockets and to probably pursue their aspirations to own a home. So
what?
You know
what? Kevon,
Gaston,
please tell me you
he
just
said
make
lots
up
of
this.
other things, but
I don't want to believe
think
that. This is who out here lying on the Prime Minister of Antigua? Ain't no way. I know. Ain't no way. What?
a lot of commenters under this under social media were not happy. They were saying, one woman was saying, instead of boasting about his good fortune, he, along with other government ministers, should come together to help citizens who are struggling to make ends meet. Others posted saying the best part is that broke, poor, hungry, rent-paying, live with your parents citizens will line up and vote for more insults and to keep you all accumulating more wealth while they stay begging. Another person said that they were disgusted with what the Prime Minister stated, and his post read, "I'm sitting here wondering how much more embarrassments Antiguans and Barbudans can take. They are making a redress."
Let me tell you something, right? That is a wild, wild set of events, because I did not expect that from somebody's Prime Minister. Yeah. Why are we? Why? I guess that's all I need. Like, why? What was the thought process behind saying all of this? Was this like word vomit? You know, when you're just saying things and you can't stop yourself?
I don't even know.
Because...
Like, I can't even figure out how to justify this, because I just feel like that was just...
And why would he say that? Rich,
for.
what? Who said... Yeah, who said wealthy people don't steal? That, like... I don't know about that statement now. I mean, that whole statement was a lot, because you literally talking about people's lives, like you're shaming them for probably not being in the best position that you think that they could be. That is wild. That is wild. Azem, you have a point. He says for every person who is appalled, there are supporters who love it. We often see that in politicians.
Yeah.
I mean, politics, bro. That they really love when you're the leaders or the person campaigning or politicking says the wildest things, forgetting that it's probably not appropriate.
Yeah, we have this way of enjoying disrespect.
Sorry, Kevon, your Wi-Fi is kicking your butt. So we missed majority of what you just said.
But again, we good?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was saying is, as a Caribbean community, we enjoy political a bit too much. We will laugh and we won't do anything about it. And it's
Not only that,
at
like
some
that's,
point, how far is too far?
That's what usually gets shared. We don't really see. We don't really see the good sides most of the time being shared or being publicized. Is often when politicians say the worst things or do the worst things. That's when we see their behavior being brought to light, which isn't always bad because we need to know that these people are capable of these things. But sometimes it's good to see the good things that people are doing. Somebody on the live is saying that he's saying that poor people cannot be trusted in political office. See why you should watch your words, because words mean things more often than not.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I would not feel good hearing that from my prime minister. I would fail away. We can't even ask our friends in Antigua about this on Friday because there's no Friday show, but we will save it.
Well, we got the next one, so
yeah, because I would like to know how they feel about this. If something else ain't come out in the meantime, because Lord. And we do not hate our Antigua cousins. We love them, but the wild things that come from over there.
The things. Let me see if Facebook saying anything.
I am not taking.
Yes, Gavin, because Y has a long tail and W doesn't.
You remember when you pick? That's such a rude answer. I am not even about to. I was about to laugh after it,
What
but then
else we can jump into
today?
After what?
I was about to laugh after that, but then I had like a quick PTSD moment because I remember asking adults like why, and they would tell me that. That is very rude.
I really did like that question as a child. But let's see. So we can talk about Barbados. So the government approves a national action plan on human trafficking. So Barbados now has an approved plan on human trafficking that would assist lawmakers and lawmakers and those in the fight to wrestle this problem to the ground. Attorney General Dale Marshall said in the Barbados National Action Plan to combat human trafficking, which is dated 2021 to 2023, which has recently been approved by Cabinet, was a milestone for the island, and it was the first action plan to tackle the multifaceted problem that has been the source of concern for many policymakers for many, many years. He pointed out that a budget of Barbados dollars 125,000, which is equivalent to $62,500 has been allocated for the upcoming financial year for the plan. Marshall explained that one important element of the 2-year plan is a study to determine the nature and extent of trafficking in the island. The study's recommendation will guide the development of targeted interventions aimed at deterring and addressing in a systematic way any existing issues related to human trafficking. He thanked the United States government for its support in funding 2 successful training programs during this month for immigration and custom officers, the judiciaries and police prosecutors, as well as the staff of the Director of Public Prosecutions. The Attorney General also added that the program delivered by the American Bar Association used trainers with experience in identifying victims of trafficking and prosecuting traffickers to deliver the course content. I love it, and I really, really hope that over the next few months we see other islands rolling out.
I was just about to say, but Kevon, before we comment on this, let's take a very quick break and thank our sponsor and be right back. Stay tuned for more Island Tea on WINNmedia SKN.
You need a drink, have a Viva, Viva. You want some fun, get a Viva, Viva. Taste the flavor, have a Viva, Viva. Oh yeah, Viva is the one. Say goodbye to boring. Let me hear you sing. Got to have my Viva, water but so much better.
Viva sparkling flavored water. Water, but better.
Welcome back to Island Tea with me, Kevon, and Azem. I can't do it. I tried.
We are back. We are definitely back to talk some more about this thing that you just read, which I completely agree with. I mean, I'm shocked that we actually didn't have it in place, to be totally honest. That's something that I feel like all countries should take seriously. I mean, there's a lot of things that have to take seriously.
Yeah.
You would just think.
I hope to see more of this rolling out, and like you said, you would think that it's a given, that this is just something that's just should already be there.
Yeah, because this is a problem all over the world, not just in the Caribbean. Like, we often see stories about people going missing and seemingly disappear off the face of the earth when they're literally being trafficked. And we have to protect our young ones because, we're the only people that can do it. So putting these things in place should always be a priority. Like, I'm really shocked that this isn't a thing.
And the thing is too, the good thing is, I guess, is that we also now have Barbados's local, well, not local, but a regional plan that is sort of catered to the Caribbean.
Barbados
and all
is
we
always,
have to do now is, just start to model. We have a model already, so why not just adapt it?
Yeah, Barbados is always in.
Just edit it to suit ours. Huh?
I was saying, I feel like Barbados is always in the forefront.
Yeah. So it's happening in Barbados, so it could happen anywhere else.
It should happen everywhere else.
So we could make it happen. Well, I mean, the plan, the human trafficking action plan, we could now adopt it in other places, make it happen. The Caribbean is a friendly place. I want to believe that all of the governments are friendly enough with each other to cooperate and collaborate. So,
that's what we
all the other
need
islands to reach out to. And then the thing is too, I'm not sure if they can, because Barbados received training from the United States and assistance. So I don't know if the Asian team is now qualified to train, but that is also that could also happen. We can now get training from them, which would probably be at a much lower cost.
Well, I don't know because I don't know the
So-
cost of this, but I just know with these things are important. And yeah, like you said, we can learn from our Caribbean cousins. Far too often they implement things and we see it and we know that it could be implemented here. It's something that would work here, but we just don't pursue it. We don't do enough sharing in the Caribbean. We want to be, we portray this image of being a Caribbean family, but sometimes it feels like we're just, separated in a way that we shouldn't be.
Yeah, so I just hope, I want to hear more from this. I want to see how it's going to happen because, believe it or not, there's a lot of trafficking that happens in the Caribbean. And unfortunately, our CARICOM passport makes it super possible. Because, you could just kind of start to bounce around to other islands with no questions asked. So I hope that this is adopted by other islands to make sure that persons who are being trafficked can be identified and assisted.
So what else do we have there?
Let's see what else we can jump into. So let's talk about COVID. Yay. So data was withheld from the World Health Organization investigators who traveled to China to research the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic. So the WHO Director General Tedros, oh my gosh, I can't say his name, so let's just leave it at Tedros. He said on Tuesday, I dare you to try it.
Okay, let me see.
I'm sending it to you. If you go with my guest. So the Director General Tedros said on Tuesday that the United States.
Oh no.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
The United States with the European Union and other Western countries immediately called for China to give full access to independent experts to all data about the original outbreak in late 2019. In its final report, written jointly with Chinese scientists, a WHO-led team that spent 4 weeks in and around Wuhan in January and February said that the virus had probably been transmitted from bats to humans through another animal, and that a lab leak was extremely unlikely as a cause. One of the team's investigators had already said that China refused to give raw data on early COVID-19 cases to the WHO-led team, and potentially complicating efforts to understand how the global pandemic began. Not surprised.
Yeah, Lord.
Not surprised. We often see countries withholding information when other countries show up to investigate.
And
it's just a
this
thing, and it's not even.
This isn't even a country.
What?
It's like it's a joint collaboration. So it's not like they have
Right.
one
So-
interest in one country. They're trying to make sure everything in the world, hence the word "world" in their name. They're trying to make sure everything in the world is functioning as should, and they need that information. You can't withhold that type of information. They're gonna look at you funny. Like if I'm one of the researchers, I'm going to be thinking all sorts of wild things just because you're withholding things. This is where conspiracies are born, Kevon.
And you at the forefront.
No.
Jade.
No.
Yes. Oh boy. So
why are we withholding information?
That's an update.
What do you think they're withholding? What do you think? What do you think they could possibly?
Probably, like they said, the raw data. Probably like the numbers and all of the early stuff. Because data like that could then be a red flag in terms of they could have been like, well, if this was this serious at this time, why was it not alerted? Why would whoever not alerted?
Yeah.
And that's probably might be just what they're running from. So I don't think they're really trying to hide. I just think they're hiding the seriousness of all of it because it probably had an outbreak and they might have said, "Oh my God, we had 10 cases," when truth is they had like 10,000.
Boy, but we have a call.
And all of that could downplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take the call.
The caller has left. But yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm interested in seeing what they were actually hiding, though, because as you said, the data could affect a lot of things that we have been seeing. But Kevon, we have another call.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Do you really think seriously that if China had requested that information, they would have get it?
Requested it from who?
From the World Health Organization.
Well, they're supposed to be a transparent company, so I don't know. Maybe not.
They're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know the amount of laws that even our country passed to facilitate those out there, and it does not pass any law to facilitate us?
I don't understand.
We can't make any requests from them. They will not hear us. But they put all the requests that we must give all the information to them.
So
if a company were to arrive and think...
Hold on, caller. You lost me with the example of the country. I don't understand.
If St Kitts and Nevis is a nation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Agree?
Mm-hmm.
Any other country pass any law to facilitate us? But we have passed law to facilitate them.
Are you 100% sure that no other country has passed a law to facilitate us?
Well, if we're a nation, and in the Caribbean, we're a different nation, like Antigua and Barbuda and all of those, a different nation. And we passed law for them to see our financial system, and they does not pass anything for us to see anything from them. That shows that they're in control, right?
Is this a hypothetical you're giving me?
No, it's a practical thing. It's happening.
Okay, but then how do you know that we don't have, that the same isn't happening for us?
Because I know they're not going to facilitate you with anything.
You don't know that completely.
It's a fact. They're not going to do it.
Okay.
It's not going to happen.
Okay.
You know that too.
I do. That's why I'm not agreeing with you.
That is your entitlement, and I so agree with you not to agree with me, because if we agree with each other, something wrong. Have a good day.
Thank you. But yeah, but not, and Kevon, no, I'm not pushing the conspiracy theorist thing, but we've seen sometimes countries hold back information, and we've heard it a lot about these bigger countries. So, they do things in the interest of their own, and I don't agree with it. I think, especially with something like this, I feel like they should be transparent, because it didn't just affect them. It affected all of us.
Yeah.
Collectively.
I feel like if this was confined to the country, then I don't, still not okay, but
no.
It's. But then, something that is currently affecting the entire world.
The world.
I feel like, giving up information that you have to the World Health Organization will be beneficial to everybody.
That's what it's supposed to be, anyway.
Should be. Let me say should be.
We can't tell people what to do. So.
Right. Whoops. Let's see what else is happening. So we can also talk about...
Sorry, not to cut you off, but all of this happened yesterday? This is a lot of things that happened yesterday.
Wait, hold on. So I want to bring up this point, which is also a great point.
Mm-hmm.
So the example that we gave a bit in the whole China withholding information thing is that, the numbers could say something else, and then so on. Someone is saying on the live that being transparent on the matter might end up with a blame game happening and then litigation, which is true. If numbers are different, then it's going to be a pointing finger match, and who did this, and you did, and then it becomes sort of more like a country war than a epidemic war. So
yeah, but you still need to give up. You still need to give information that especially important information that could possibly help to stop something else from happening in the future. We can't just think about ourselves now. Like we have to think about other factors. But that's a good point as well.
Yeah. Let's see, what else can we jump into? Let's talk about a Dallas street. So officials have renamed a Dallas street for Botham Jean, who was an unarmed black man who was originally from St. Lucia, who was fatally shot in his apartment by a former police officer who claimed she mistook his apartment for her own. During a ceremony on Saturday, Jean's family and city officials unveiled street signs for Botham, and the street is now the Botham Jean Boulevard. The newly renamed street runs along the apartment complex where he lived. Had to be here, which is bittersweet. Yes, we want everyone to remember him, but we also want everyone to forever say his name. He's not, and it is hard for us, which is what Alyssa Findley said, who is his sister. She also said, I thought I was going to be strong because this is supposed to be a celebration, but I miss my brother and I would love him back. The ex-Dallas police officer, Amber Geiger, killed Jean in September 2018. And at her trial, she testified that after a long shift, mistook his apartment for her own on the floor below and shot him thinking he was a burglar. Who was a 26-year-old accountant from the Caribbean island nation of St. Lucia, had been eating a bowl of ice cream when he lost his life when Geiger barged into his home and shot him. So last year, a jury sentenced Geiger to 10 years in prison for a trial that spurred the national debate over race and policing, ended in a stunning room scene where Jean's brother and the judge embraced the sobbing officer. During Saturday's ceremony, Mayor Eric Johnson told Jean's family that Dallas mourns with you. Johnson also said that we honor your son's legacy, and hopefully this is just a small demonstration of how we feel about the contributions that your son made in the very short period of time we had him here. So, a sad story, very sad story. I think we all remember this story.
Because I'm at least, if the family is happy that there was a street renamed after him to honor his life, but I would prefer to have my family member than a street. And I'm sure they do too, but I just don't ever feel right when these things happen, and because it kind of feels like they're trying to, soothe the family with this thing, and it just, I don't know. It just never feels right to me.
Yeah.
And 10 years, I forgot that this was her sentence.
A great gesture, but I feel like a lot of these gestures are just like band-aids. So,
10 years?
What?
I said 10 years. I was repeating the sentence.
Oh.
10, that's not...
It's a sad situation.
Boy.
Yeah, but we also now see that the trial, in line with this whole thing, the trial for Derek Chauvin is underway. Derek Chauvin is the cop that knelt on the neck of George Floyd last year for 8 minutes and seconds. Until George Floyd stopped breathing.
Actually, it came out that it was more than 8 minutes. It was 9 something. This was something brought up in the trial that has already begun, that it was more than 8 minutes. Like, how do you even justify that? And I know that his defense attorney is only doing his job, but you bringing up all these things like, he was sick or he did drugs and all of that. I'm pretty sure with all these things that he did, if the officer didn't kneel on his neck, he wouldn't have died. So I don't see your point.
I'm pretty sure, and all of these things are just fluff arguments, because at the end of the day, no matter what you do, they're going to find a way to insert something previous to it. I mean, I could have had a bowl of cereal prior to it, and they would have said that my sugar level was so high. No matter what happened prior, I could have been just finishing a salad, not enough protein was in my body. So
yeah,
they would have find many different arguments to justify the situation.
But yeah, Kevon, before you continue, we have a call. Caller, good morning.
This case is so foolish that the policeman only want one juror to side with him, and the whole case flipped.
Imagine.
One. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's sad, honestly. It's sad because
very, very.
You can't deny what we all fight. Like, so everybody just blind.
Yeah. Let me see. So I could read a quick summary. The trial is underway. It's going to take a while. The trial is underway, and the update as of last night is yesterday was the second day of the former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin murder trial, which resumed on Tuesday, started on Monday. And it resumed with testimonies from bystanders, including an emergency medical technician and several teenagers, one of whom said there was nothing we could do. The teen who took the video capturing the moment said she would sometimes stay up at night thinking of Floyd, apologizing to him for not saving his life. Attorneys laid out their opening arguments on Monday in the case against Chauvin, who is charged in the death of George Floyd last spring. Floyd, a black man, died in police custody on May 25th, 2020, after Chauvin pinned his knee against Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes. Chauvin is charged with second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. So, any updates on the situation, we will, as it rolls along, we'll present them.
Yeah, this is one case that I will definitely be following because it's sad to say that I have no faith in the justice system in that country, because we've seen time and time again where people who clear evidence, clear as day, see them on tape or, have witnesses and all of these things, and then they just no justice. That is quite a thing.
So, and part of the thing is we saw on the scene an off-duty firefighter. Firefighters are also EMS. They are trained emergency medical teams. So an off-duty firefighter was on the scene trying to assist and prompting the police to check for pulses and, he's not breathing, give me his heart rate and stuff. The officers sort of just cussed her off and yeah. She testified yesterday. She'll continue to testify today. So
you really watch.
And there are many different channels you could follow this on. If you want to follow it, I'm pretty sure all you need to do is type in his trial on Google, and you will be taken to some live link or live updates if you want to follow the situation. But
there's so many people who could have stopped this, like the other officers, because that's your job. This is what you get paid for, to protect and serve. I don't see any protection happening in that video. It's just, and he looks so, the thing is, right, he looks so comfortable, doing this.
Yeah, and what they're trying to do right now is sort of make it seem as if the climate of the bystander scared the cop into, doing what he did. And it's not really working because.
Excuse me?
How do you comfortably kneel on a man's neck for over 9 minutes?
What do you mean? Hold on. No, you said something just now. Don't skate past it. What do you mean? They're trying to
use all of these bystanders' anger and whatever they were feeling in the moment to sort of say that this is why the cop reacted the way it is.
Would it
right?
That actually
and
make you?
What the difference? What they keep bringing up is the fact that it's not working because the cops. This happened in the street, and if the cops really felt like they were so flustered with thoughts. Why were they not moving onto the street in oncoming traffic? There were so many things
Not only
happening
that, if you
besides the crowd.
Yeah, like if you already
yeah.
subdue somebody, you have them in handcuffs and all of this, and you feel like the crowd is scaring you, wouldn't you just like move to a safer location like the police precinct? Wouldn't you just place the person into the car?
Or not in the middle of the street? Wouldn't you have moved this to the sidewalk?
Wouldn't you have at least...
It kept happening in the street, so.
I don't understand this excuse of yes, you're a human. However, this is the job you signed up for. If you are too scared of bystanders standing on the sidewalk, you probably shouldn't be a police officer. I mean...
That and many other reasons, but
I don't understand this justification, which is a justification that, is used far too often to justify stupid behavior by... You know what I really would like to have an update on? Speaking of police and not doing the best things. Remember that case that we spoke about where where we saw again officers not behaving how we think that they should? Not that, we have this thing that we think officers should behave one way, but, using what you can deem as excessive force for some. I would really like an update on that case, because I feel like, as usual, things have gone quiet when things like these happen. We see outrage for like a week, maybe more sometimes, and then nothing. I wonder what happened there. So if anybody has an update for us, maybe we could put a news team on it.
So somebody on the YouTube brought up a good point. This is the police have a long history of killing Black people. The only fact now is that people are recording it.
The recordings are helping.
And, it seems as though, unfortunately, not even the recording is enough.
Look,
because
they can see you recording them,
People. Yeah, you have recording of somebody taking somebody's life unfair. You have
not only
actual
that,
recording of the entire event, and then we have to sit down and wonder, well, how this happened?
Not only that, the police officers can literally see you recording them. Yet.
And we see many officers trying to threaten the bystanders when they start recording.
Yeah.
We see people running, and the officer noticed that they recorded. One of the other officers start chasing the individual, and the person have to run. I mean, it's
but just, Kevon, we have our last call of the morning. Caller, good morning. You're live.
Hey, good morning. Where did this thing happen?
Which
that you're talking about?
Oh, it happened in America. Which part in America, Kevon, if you have the information up?
This was in Minnesota, I think. Hold on, I'm gonna check to double check. This happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that we had a case here in St Kitts and Nevis, Nevis in particular, to be exact, where a young prospective cricketer was shot and killed by a police. Evidence was here. I think, what kind of justice have we been seeing for that?
Well, that's what
and
I mean.
And also, do we speak about it? Or we just speak about things that's happening in the United States?
Well, we were just speaking about a case that actually happened in Nevis before you called, so no, we do not only speak about things in America. We actually start off talking about things in the Caribbean and St Kitts, and
Yeah, and even a few weeks ago, we brought up the video that we saw of the police officer standing on a mat back in St Kitts and Nevis, and then following up the video of one of the same officers involved in that, basically undressing the same man at a bar on a beach. So,
do you know about the case of Phil Wallace that was killed in a bar in Nevis?
Yes, we know about it.
By a police. You speak about it?
Well, I've never spoken about it. I just remembered it when you brought it up. So.
Okay, my dear. That's my point.
But yeah, again, we do speak about all these cases. Apparently, Azem is reminding me that we did bring it up.
Yeah, we brought it up.
Yeah, we are never partial. We're never partial when it comes to talking about things. We talk about everything that we see or come across. If you want to send us information about anything, you can send it to WINNmedia, info@winnmediaskn.com. I will see it. You can also call in, leave comments on the live, reach out to us, and we will talk about it if we have information. But Kevon, guess what? Our time has been exhausted. It is time for us to go
it is time for our friend. It is our time for our friend to give us our outro, Captain Confusion himself.
Captain Confusion.
And then we will roll it. And then it's time to get up and get out.
Yes. Oh dear.
Not playing?
Oh dear. What is happening? So they don't want to hear from Amali today? I'm shocked.
Yeah.
This is not like them. Okay, well, apparently apparently Amali's message won't be heard today.
Yeah, Amali is being confusion even in his absence.
But he says a lot of things before we leave, including drive safely, use the roundabouts correctly, don't drink and drive too much, amend the laws. We still have to talk to somebody about these laws. But, he says a lot of good things that you should listen to. If you want to catch our older episodes, you can go to WINNmedia SKN on YouTube and Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram at ILNT. You could also follow the WINNmedia SKN page on Instagram and our website, www.winnmediaskn.com, for all the good things. But yes, Kevon, now that I've filled in for Amali, take us out, please.
You can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. See you tomorrow.
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. WINN FM.
If you own or work with animals, please follow these tips to avoid getting the coronavirus. Please keep pets away from areas where you are preparing food and eating your meals. Thoroughly wash your hands after handling animals and animal waste. Avoid contact with sick or stray animals. And always remember to wear protective gowns, gloves, and facial protection when handling them. As the novel coronavirus spreads, it is important that you continually disinfect your home. Viruses can gather on surfaces such as doorknobs, computer keyboards and mouse, cell phones, tablets, railings, kitchen and bathroom countertops, and remote control devices. To avoid transfer of viruses, wipe down these surfaces regularly with disinfectants such as Clorox, Lysol wipes, or soap and water. Avoid touching your face or your loved one's faces after touching any of these types of surfaces. It is very easy for viruses to be transferred in this way. When preparing food, be sure to use different knives and cutting boards for raw meats and cooked foods. Wash your hands before and after handling raw meats. Also, wash your hands before and after using cooked food. Be sure to cook food thoroughly before eating it. This is a message from the Ministry of Health and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA.
Here comes the sun. Sun quick. Here comes the sun. Sun quick. Sunny flavors for everyone. Natural, tasty, full of vitamin C. The drink for the whole family. It's Sun quick. Sun quick drink concentrate gives you 40 glasses. 9 delicious flavors to choose from.
Orange tropical mango.
Peach orange, orange apricot, black currant,
Apple, red orange, red fruit.
bursting with vitamin C.
Sun quick.
Maybe it's the way the